Stashers, welcome to the CraftStash podcast. This is episode 82 and I'm your host, Kim. Hey guys, welcome to episode 82. This is the Zombie Stasher episode. Nice to see you guys. Welcome to new viewers. Welcome to viewers who have been with me before. So today it is Tuesday. It is not a weekend. I'm recording off schedule because I am on vacation for the next 2 weeks. Everybody do the happy dance. Yeah, I'm on vacation for 2 weeks. I took off last week in time to go to the Zombie Knitpocalypse retreat in Rochester, Minnesota. An amazing, amazing retreat, knitting retreat hosted by the Stockin' Zombies, Amy and Megan. And then I decided to take some more time off after that to ease me back into life, to enjoy my own fair city of New York where I live, and just generally hang out and enjoy my summer. So the hanging out is going well, the enjoying is going well. As proof positive, Greg and I have been picnicking and barbecuing and grilling in our local park. This is the second day in a row that we're just hanging out outside in the green grass in New York City, and it's amazing, amazing. So I'm just recording on a bench in a park in my neighborhood. That is the that is the Hudson River. Yeah, there are soccer fields. People are playing soccer. It's kind of quiet because it's a Tuesday and everyone else is at work. Suckers. As you can tell, I'm very giddy and ecstatic about not being at work right now. So today I have in store for you a bit of a recap of the Zombie Knitpocalypse retreat. I have a wee bit of what I'm crafting and a wee bit of what I'm stashing. It's not that I'm not crafting a lot, and it's not that I'm not stashing a lot, it's just that we've been out in the park barbecuing and grilling all day, and I wanted to pack light. So I have one craft project, 1, 2, 3, 4 stash items for you. And then I will chat about the retreat. So let's get this party started. So what am I crafting? I'm cheating a tiny bit. And I'm crafting something that I recently stashed. And it's being stored in something that I also recently stashed. So what I'm crafting is a new shawl. I actually have, because I never do these things in order, let me actually show you my FO. FO! I kind of want to have, now that there are many more podcasters out there and everyone's doing their own thing, I'm loving people's little segments and intros and the little animations that people are using, so I want to like step my game up and I want to have like a little dancing Kermit the Frog that goes, FO! Yeah! Every time I finish something, but I don't think that's actually going to happen, so you just had me doing the Kermit the Frog flail. Yay! FO. Oh, are you guys hearing that? There are jet skiers behind us in the Hudson. Yay, FO! You guys haven't seen this for a while. This is my, excuse me, it's a cowl / poncho. I'm eyeing a mosquito here that's trying to creep up on me. No mosquito. I do not taste good. Yay, I finished this. So this was a very non-pattern, more of a recipe, and a couple of people have asked me how I made this, so I might write up like a one-pager recipe. But this is what I'm calling my HUG, my humble utilitarian garment. It is 3 different skeins, and you can see the 3 colors of Claudia hand-painted fingering sock yarn. I used all 3 skeins, so this is about 400 yards, 450 yards, 500 yards. Knit on size 3 circulars, US. You basically cast on, knit for a little bit in broken rib, join in the round, and then increase every inch. Yeah, and you alternate colors according to a formula. So I will tell you the formula really quickly, but I might write it up because it was a little bit tricky to understand, I guess, when I was trying to explain it this weekend. At the retreat, rather. So you have your 3 balls of yarn, we'll call them A, B, and C. You knit with 75% of A, then you knit with 25% of B. Then you finish up with that remaining 25% of A, and then you knit with 50% of B. Then you knit with 25% of C, the remaining 25% of B, and then the rest 75% of C, so that you have this gradual color shift. And if you do your colors right, if you have hand paints like I do, it's a very subtle color shift, because you can see the green popping up where you thought it wouldn't be, and the purple popping up where you thought it wouldn't be, and the blue popping up where you thought it wouldn't be. So I'm really excited about it. I'm going to try it on because it's overcast. It's a 90-degree day in New York City, but it's currently overcast. We narrowly avoided a rainstorm, so it's nice and cool. So I will slip this on. I have a mic on me, so if you hear any kind of forgive me. Actually, let me just take the mic off for a second, okay? So you can see I can wear this as a cowl. Woohoo! Oh no, I just dropped my project in the dirt. So I can wear it as a cowl, or I can wear it over my shoulders. I'm not crazy about the rolled edge, so actually while I was on the retreat, we were visiting a local yarn store, and they had a different color of Claudia hand painted that would have gone perfectly with this, so I bought it, and I might actually pick it up and work another color in this just to get rid of that rolled edge. So yay, finished object. Alright, I'm back and I'm mic'd up. So that's a finished object. Woohoo! I was just cursing just then because I dropped my whip in the dirt. And as I was saying, my whip is also some stash. So, sorry, I'm just beating the dirt off of my project here. I started another shawl because they're easy and they're portable. And oh my gosh, this looks so much fun on camera. This yarn is some yarn that I have been stocking on Etsy for a long time, and I have never been able to purchase because it's always sold out. This is Wild Hare Studios. I actually bought my, they sell a bunch of different fibery things, and I actually bought my nitty noddy from them. It's a travel nitty noddy that comes apart, and they actually sell yarn too. So this is, I forget which color this is of theirs. It's some sort of electric peacock color. But I've been stocking it for very long and haven't been able to actually snag it. And I snagged it this weekend, or this past week, at a local yarn store in Rochester, Minnesota. I believe I got this at the Stephen B shop. I'm embarrassed to say I had never heard of Stephen B, but having been to his shop, we kind of live Skyped with him from TNNA at the retreat. I will never forget who Stephen B is. He's awesome. He's over the top, outrageous, and awesome. But yeah. This is my whip. So what is it exactly? It is a Martina Behm shawl, so yay, this is my first Martina Behm pattern. And now that I've been working on it for 2 days, I totally know why everyone loves her patterns, because they are simple, straightforward, and intuitive, and fun, and motivating somehow, even though they're really simple. So as you can see, it's doing some really cool flashing here. But because it's the garter stitch, it doesn't kind of make you mad the way sometimes flashing does. And this is a really fun self-striping sock yarn that, if you get the stripes right on a sock, it does nice stacked rows of stripes. But I'm kind of happy that it's doing a little bit of its own crazy dance on the shawl. So this is a Martina Behm pattern. It is the Ekken and Kanten shawl, if I remember correctly. It's available on Ravelry and a couple of other places. I actually bought it on my JKnitPro app, which I absolutely love. I told you guys about it maybe last year, actually, a couple months ago, maybe last year. It's basically an app that you can program your patterns into it. I'm going to try and show it to you on screen. This is what it looks like. It's connected to a website called JKnitPro, where you can either buy patterns on this Knitpoint site, or you can create your own patterns. And it basically is a pattern counter that, as you're going along, and I won't show you too much of this because it's a proprietary pattern, but as you can build the project in sections, and as you're working with sections. Let me see if I can do this on camera. Hello. As you're working on sections, shit, sorry guys, the instructions change and tell you what to do next. And it gives you stitch counts. So, pretty cool, absolutely love it. The app was pricey, it was $10. There is a steep learning curve, I will not lie to you. But once you get it, it's totally worth it. And the good thing is that a lot of big popular patterns are available on the Knitpoint site for you to download, and they've already done all the work for you. So I just paid my $4 and I'm working on my Ekken and Kanten shawl. So yay for that. And the cool thing is that you can have pictures in there. So this is what the finished shawl looks like. Sorry, I'm still not really good at this after a year and a half of podcasting. So I'm very excited about what's going to happen with the shawl. And like I said, I'm working it, I believe I said this, I'm working it on size 3s. These are my Knitpicks circulars, and it's going pretty good. So yay for WIP. And also that transitions us into stash, because I'm stashing it in a new project bag. You guys know I've historically been not project bag lady, but this is the yarn all caked up. And this is the bag. So let's talk about what I'm stashing, shall we? So I'm stashing a... I've been cursing a lot lately, and I've been trying to clean up the show. So I was about to say S-ton, but a buttload. How about a buttload? I've been stashing a buttload of project bags. I won a project bag at the retreat. Two different people gave me project bags as gifts, and then I bought 5 project bags. So I'm stashing a lot of bags. I'm a bag lady, and I'm proud of it. For a long time I didn't believe in project bags, but they make sense because I take my WIPs everywhere with me, and it's just nice to kind of keep them safe in something other than a plastic baggie. So the first bag that I'm stashing that you guys will see is this Chubby Cloud bag. There is her cute little tag, Chubby Cloud. And it is a Japanese style, there's a name for this, but it's a Japanese style bag where one side is longer than the other so that you can slip one side into the other, and you can hold it on your wrist and knit as you go. So I've been doing this on the subway, and it comes in very, very handy. I've also been doing this on my bag where I kind of make the fold and hang the open handle on my bag, and this way I can just walk around and have it on my hip and knit. And this is her small size, and it's just big enough for the beginnings of this shawl before the shawl gets too big, and it'll also be big enough for sock projects. So you can stash everything in here, and that's what I've been knitting on all day. And it's awesome sauceum. So I'm really glad I found her shop on Etsy. And I had this particular bag in my cart for a little while, and after a week I said, well, it's still there, so it belongs to me, and I purchased it. So that's what I'm stashing. I'm also stashing, this was a very generous gift given to me at the Stockinette Zombies Knitting Retreat by the lovely DebCQuilts, who is a member of our Ravelry group. If you're not a member, please join. There's a lot of fun stuff happening there. Deb just knows that I love 4 colors. And if you've watched the show before, you should totally know what those 4 colors are. Purple, turquoise, bright green, and gray. So she got me a bag in those exact colors. And she also very, very sweetly got a special set of stitch markers for me in the same coordinating colorways, and the stitch markers have my name on them. And it has a little memento of the retreat. So it says Zombie Knitpocalypse 2013. And the bag is from Bling Your String. I don't know if you guys remembered, a while ago I had mentioned Bling Your String because when they were just coming out they had a special of some sort. So I talked about them then, but I hadn't purchased a bag, so I didn't know very much about the company. But I'm super happy to say that the bag is a very well-made bag. I always love when people kind of have screen printing instead of real tags, so I appreciate her screen printed tag. I love that the fabric color coordinates from the inside to the outside, and it's a stand-up bag, but it's nice and small and compact. It's pretty tall, so I could probably transfer my shawl when it gets too big for the Chubby Cloud bag, transfer it in here. got a handle, and it's got a zipper, so I'm really excited about it. And I put my own little button on there because I'm vain sometimes. But yay, Deb, thank you so much. It was way too generous for you to do this. And I'm very, very happy with my bag. So I'm also stashing, I decided that I'm only going to show you guys a little bit of what I bought from Zombie Knitpocalypse at a time, because I really went there saying, oh, I'll buy 2 or 3 bags. Don't need much yarn, you know. I'm trying to de-stash yarn. I totally, to say I fell down, if I fell down, I'd be in China right now because I just kept on going. We went on a yarn crawl, and all the vendors there I hadn't heard of before I went to the retreat, so I didn't expect to buy very much, but people just blew me away. So over the next couple of episodes, you guys will see what I bought from Zombie Knitpocalypse, and we'll just say that that's the story. I also snapped up a bag from 210 Street Designs, who is Anne Brody. Fun little notions bag. Do you recognize those little crazy looking stitches? Those are the stockinette. That's the stockinette zombie, I guess. So how could I go on a retreat and not get something souvenirs? So I picked up this little notions bag that has these really cool pouches in the front that you can slip cards into, other little notions. It has a handle and this really fun wood-burned memento of the Zombie Knitpocalypse with the state of Minnesota. So I'm very excited about this bag also, with the contrast lining. I will be stashing stuff up in here. And then the last bit of stash that I have to show you guys today before we start looking at field trips. Some MCN. I don't have very much. Oh no, this is MCS. It's merino, cashmere, and silk. I don't have very many MCNs or MCSs. So I don't know if you guys can see there's a subtle sheen on this, and it's really, really soft because of the cashmere, and it's a little halo-y because of the merino, but I'm very excited to work this. It might become a pair of socks. It might become a nice little shawl, because I think I'm getting into a shawl mood. And I love it. The yarn is from Vice. This was like the yarn, the hot stuff yarn on the retreat. Everyone was trying to get some of this stuff. I'd never heard of it before, but I totally love it. This is their Carnal base. It's the heavy fingering weight of the 70% merino, 20% cashmere, 10% silk. This is the If a Tree Falls colorway, and I got this from the Darn Knit Anyway shop in near Rochester. Well, it wasn't near Rochester actually, it was pretty far south, but it was in Minnesota. But I love this. This is a variation of my colors because there's brown instead of the purple. So I'm very excited with my stash acquisitions. And that's kind of all that I'm stashing. I have a stash giveaway for you guys on the show, and I will show it to you in just a sec. So a lot of us crafters are all over Instagram, and we're kind of too all over Instagram. It's kind of crazy. And DebCQuilts posted on Instagram that she found these amazing t-shirts. So she bought a bunch of them and was kind of giving them away. They say keep calm and stash on. So she gave a couple of them away. I actually got one and I gave her a thank you gift for it, and she had 1 or 2 left over after the retreat. So I said, hey, can I have one of them for a giveaway? And she gave me one. So this is a junior's large, which is probably a women's medium. So if anyone would like this, I'm just going to ask you guys to post in the what you're stashing thread, and I will pick a winner next week. It is a women's medium or a junior's large, so you know, post if you think you want it or you want to give it to someone, but I will give that away, and I will draw a winner for it next week's episode. You have to have commented within the last, let's call it 7 days. Awesome. So what else do we have? Let's talk about the retreat. Oh my gosh, I'm just reliving the past 4 days, 4 of which I spent in, there's a train going behind me. So I flew up to Rochester on Thursday, and I have to apologize for everyone who signed up for, I was supposed to teach a beginning drop spindling class, and I just didn't do my homework and didn't realize that it was a long commute from the airport to the hotel. So I actually didn't make the timing for my drop spindle class. had a makeup session, which fewer people attended, but it was still fun, and I just want to publicly apologize yet again, because I kept joking that I'm a project manager for work, and when I'm not at work, I kind of take the opposite approach and don't plan anything, so that was my bad. I didn't plan very well. But nonetheless, I met so many people who had been to SSK, and it was lovely to see them, so many folks that I knew online, and had gotten to meet them in person. So many people that knew me from Ravelry and came up to me and said hello. And a lot of people I just didn't know from Adam, and had a great time with them anyway. So if you can get yourself to a knitting retreat, whether it's in your backyard or across the country, or if you're lucky enough in a different country, do it once. Once is more than enough to tide you over. It is just so refreshing to pick up and leave your own area, whether it's, again, if it's your neighborhood and moving to another neighborhood. It's just nice to be away from your life and hanging out with people who love the things that you do. And it's even better if you go not knowing anyone. We're all nervous. Believe it or not, I'm crazy nervous. And I actually spent quite a bit of time in my hotel room or just walking around on my own just to kind of like, zone out and be within myself. But it's just awesome. It's awesome. It's really, really good stuff. So if you can do that, I highly recommend it. If you can't do it, ask some of your local knitting friends if they'd like to do a retreat with you. Have it at someone's house, rent a hotel room, do what you gotta do a couple of yarn crawls, have something where each of you teaches the other something. Have a retreat. It's a lot of fun. It really, really is worth it. I kind of started writing down the people's names that I remember meeting and wanted to say hello to, and it's always problematic and tricky because I know I'm going to forget someone. So I'm going to say a couple people who I have to say hello to because we spent so much good time together and I felt like I really got to know them. If I met you and chatted with you and I don't name you, please don't. We all had name tags, but the names were this tiny, and I kept calling people by their Ravelry names. People kept calling me Kay. People kept calling me Creole. People kept calling me CraftStash. So if I don't say your name by name, it doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. But I wanted to say hello to Sally from Idaho. Amazing. So good to meet you. I'm kind of mad that we weren't Ravelry friends before this weekend because I know that we've had interactions. And I was like almost on your hip this weekend, this past weekend, and I kind of purposefully pulled myself away from you, but it was so much fun to hang out with you and see you and chat with you. Melanie, 4 kitties have I, or should I say 4 kitties shave 1. So good to see you again. There are no words. Hanging out with Reorden, Knit Psycho, my roommate. If she has a podcast, if you guys didn't know, please check her out. She's based in California. Total sweetie. If you ever have played the game Cards Against Humanity, she totally outdoes it, and from now on she has spoiled me for playing Cards Against Humanity or even Apples to Apples with any other person. Because every time she would read a card, she would bust out laughing genuinely and turn red, and it was hilarious. Shirley, it was so good to meet you, lady. Girlfriend, it was awesome hanging out with you. Wenmig, my neighbor, so lovely to see you. Thank you for coming by and saying hello. Wee Sheep, it was great riding down with you. Fuzzy Colors, thank you so much for picking us up and feeding us and driving us around. Elizabeth Quintland of Elizabeth Quintland Designs, it was lovely hanging out with you and drinking with you and shopping your lovely booth. Nurse Kim Knits, always good to see you. And Nurse Kim Knits and I actually did this really cool thing. You'll see it in the video later where we drop spindled from the second story of the hotel down to the first story. Nurse Kim Knits actually spindled all the way to the ground, and her spindle touched the ground. Mine kind of fell to the ground, but it was so much fun. You'll see that in the video in a little bit. Mary Gale, lovely hanging out with you and having a drink with you. There was a podcaster who was wearing these amazing handmade dresses every single day. She is a riot. I can't remember her name right now. Robin, teaching you to spindle was so much fun. I have like Pixie question mark hanging out with you was great. It's just like I met so many people. Whitney hanging out with you and hearing about Chicago and the vets and all that fun stuff. It was really great to meet so many people. And I just wanted to say hello to these folks by name because I just remember an extended interaction with them. So again, moral of the story is if you have a chance to go on a retreat, go. And that's before I even talk about Amy and Megan, the organizers of the retreat. I won't be presumptuous and say everyone knows Talking to Zombies, but if you haven't heard of them, you need to go watch them. They're so down to earth. They are the originators of the hoe half object, and they're based out of Minnesota, obviously. Really down to earth ladies, so cool. I got to hang out with Jay Nitma a little bit more than Megan. Amy and I exchanged beer. It was a lot of fun. I gave them t-shirts. It was really, really a good time. And ladies, you outdid yourself. I had a wonderful time. Whenever my coworkers were laughing at me for going on vacation to Minnesota, I wish they could hang out with the two of you guys and kind of understand why it was such a good thing for me to do. So thank you guys so much for organizing. So I'm going to show you a little bit of video and pictures from the trip. We went to, a quick recap is, I landed Thursday. We had a big we had a big conference room that everyone would congregate in and knit in, and there was a giveaway. I actually won a bag. I will show you that next time I'm doing my stash. On Friday, I opted to go to the LYS, the yarn crawl, where we all loaded up on a big passenger bus, and we visited 4 different yarn shops. Really great yarn shops, seemingly at opposite ends of Minnesota, because we drove for 45 minutes to each one. We all had lunch on the bus, we had wine on the bus. I think, if I remember correctly, the stores that we went to were Knitter's Paradise, and I'll show you what I bought from them. We went to Stephen B. I just showed you some of the stuff that I bought from him. We went to, what was the third one that we went to? Lena and Claudine, or Lydia and Claudine, which I'll show you what I got from them in another episode. And then we ended up at Darn Knit Anyway. I'll show you what I got from them in a different episode. Again, it's kind of naive of me to say that I went on a yarn crawl not expecting to shop, but I didn't expect to shop, and I did. So it is what it is. I fell to China, whatever. Through the center of the earth. And then Saturday was kind of a whirlwind day because we had the vendor marketplace, and then I took some time for myself, ended up teaching my class, went to dinner, and then before we knew it, it was Sunday. And I couldn't tell you more details than that, but it was a lovely time, very lovely time. And I think the best part is that this retreat was open. All you had to do was be able to get yourself there. There was no sign-ups, there was no wait list, there was no drawings, and not to say that any of the other retreats that do that are bad. It's just really encouraging that if you wanted to come and if you could come, you were there. So I really love that kind of retreat. And I hope they are able to do it again in the future if you guys so choose. No pressure. See you next year. Yeah, so I will leave you with that. Again, I'm probably going to be doing Stash Flash for the next couple of weeks, just because I didn't want to take everything with me. I see Greg over there, he's like wondering what I'm doing. Hi, babe. Yeah, so let's take a quick look at the field trip, and I will see you in a bit. guys enjoyed the little bit of footage that I was able to capture. Thank you to my videographer. I forget your Ravelry name, but her name was Linda, so we were joking that if you guys like her footage of me drop spindling, I took the video. If you didn't like it, it was Linda. Either way, I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys next week. Until then, if you can't craft it, zombie stash it. Bye.